welcome back to your GPS group. Thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for being a part of our awesome small group ministry. I hope you guys are having some good food and some good times. We're going to jump into what we were talking about this last Sunday. When we're talking about who we want to be and a life that God is going to bless, we talked about how God will bless the merciful. It says in Matthew 5, verse 7, God blesses those who are merciful, for they will be shown mercy. There's plenty of scripture, plenty of direction by God that basically says, look, if you want mercy, if you want to be forgiven, then you better be someone who does that. If you want God to bless you with forgiveness, to bless you with mercy, then it's part and parcel for us to go and be people who share that with other people. So I hope you have a great conversation tonight. The big question I would have for you is, who do you have? Who's that one person that comes to mind that you need to show mercy to? Maybe the person you really don't want to show mercy to. But who is it? Who is God calling on you right now as you sit in your group to go and be merciful with? If you wish, I've got a quick Bible study that I'd like to do with you guys, so you can either pause this or you can go straight into it. I'll give you 5 seconds of really intense awkwardness to let you make that decision as a group. And we're back. What we're going to be doing is we're in Matthew 18, and we're going to look at one of my favorite parables, Matthew 18, starting in verse 21. It starts with one of my favorite disciples of Jesus, a guy called Peter, who comes up and thinking he's, pretty merciful, pretty forgiving, says Jesus, look, how many times should I forgive a person? Like 7? Like 7 times? That's pretty awesome, right? Jesus, being the king of kind of slapdowns, says, let's try 70 times 7, Peter. Really trying to reconstruct the mindset of what forgiveness looks like. And then he goes on to tell this parable. He says that the kingdom of heaven can be compared to a king who wanted to bring his servants to account. One of his servants owed him roughly about $1 million. He couldn't pay it back. His servant said, please have mercy on me. He begged him, please be patient with me. The king decided to release him from his debt. $1 million. Don't worry about paying it back. But when this servant left the king, he went out. He found a servant who owed him a few $1,000s. He grabbed him by the throat, demanded him payment. Now, this is what we need to understand before we move any further on from here. Is when we talk about mercy and forgiveness and how much we should show other people, it all depends how much you feel like you've been forgiven, how much mercy you've received. How generous can you be with what has been given to you? If you feel like God has forgiven you little because you've done little wrong, or God has needed to show you very little mercy because you're a pretty good person, then you will have very little to give anyone else. But if you can see it for how it is, that you and me, we do evil things all the time, think evil things all the time, and God forgives it again and again and again, and merciful again and again and again, then we can start to really be merciful. Then we can really start to show the type of generosity that Jesus is talking about, 70 times 7. What happens to this man is the other servants see him choking this other guy out, go back to the king and say, didn't you forgive him his debt? I've just seen him choking somebody down for $1,000. The king then basically takes him, binds him, puts him in prison and says, until your debt's paid, you're never leaving. See, that is the attitude God has towards mercy. If he's going to give us much, then we should be expected to also give. We should be expected to be merciful people. If we want to be blessed in this life, we have to be a people of mercy. So that's what our challenge is. I hope you have a great conversation. Read through that parable together again in Matthew 18. Really dig out what it looks like in our life, in our context, in your application, so that you can know how to be a person of mercy. Have a great night.